flowing down to the sea for centuries. It carries the holy water of the parent river, Ganga. On Makar Sankranti Day, nearly 500,000 people visit Sagar Island for a holy dip in the river for salvation. On the fourth day of Durga Puja, the day of immersion, the riverfront wears an out-of-the-world look as beautiful images are consigned to the water of the river. Over the centuries, great port cities grew up by the river. The names of Tamralipto, Shoptogram, Hooghly still conjure up the vision of a glorious past. They all declined with the change in the course of the river or loss of its navigability. Tamralipto was a flourishing port for about 2,000 years. Present Tamluk town now stands on its site. Monuments to a fakir and a merchant turned devotee of Krishna cult remain as mute testimony to the city of Shoptogram. Hooghly attained prominence as a port and Portuguese settlement. By 1590, it replaced Shoptogram as a port. The river gradually silted up near Hooghly. And a new port, the port of Calcutta, rose to eclipse it. This river has an important place in the religious, social, and cultural life of the people. For many, it is the principal source of sustenance. Life flows in an even pace all along the river as it had continued for ages. Commercial and industrial establishments came up all along the riverbank in order to be close to the port. European merchants, lured by the tales of easy wealth from the fabulous East, fought amongst themselves for supremacy over this stretch of the river. The English traders ultimately emerged as empire builders in India. Maritime trade was growing. Sailboats and steamships dropped anchor in the stream. The riverfront was crowded with groups of foreigners and merchants engaged in trade. And Calcutta, the site of Job Charnock's midday halt, grew from a cluster of villages to be the center of commerce and industry and the capital of India. Calcutta has always been an export-oriented port. Since 1750, approximately half of India's seaborne trade passed through Calcutta. Even today, in terms of value, 40% of the country's foreign trade passes through this port. The main items of export are coal, iron ore, tea and jute goods. Export of non-traditional items like steel products is also on the increase. On the import side, the major items are food grains, salt, petroleum, iron and steel, and machineries. The port has a 200-ton crane, the highest capacity shore-based crane in India, which handles heavy lift materials for scores of projects that are changing the industrial face of the country. The port has its own railway system. Cargoes can be received right up to the docks and jetties or dispatched from the port to any destination in India. For the maintenance of a variety of cargo handling appliances, port installations, and a large fleet of vessels, the port has its own vast workshop. Lighted buoys mark the channel for navigation day and night. And he is not being dressed for a space flight. He is a port diver engaged in underwater inspection, repair and salvage work. Calcutta being a terminal port, there is a sustained demand for dry dock and ship repair facilities. Even its 5 dry docks and a number of lay-up berths are proving inadequate to the growing demand. Calcutta Port started with only 4 screw-pile jetties. The oldest section of the port, known as Calcutta Jetties, is still very much alive today. There are also riverside jetties at Garden Reach and Budge Budge. The first impounded docks, the Kidderpore docks, were completed in 1893. The newly installed electrically operated bascule bridge over the docks can be opened or closed within 90 seconds. The Kidderpore docks were expanded at different stages from the turn of the century up to the modern period. Vessels passed through Lockgate with minimum margin of space under expert guidance. A new dock system with more modern facilities came up in 1928. It is known as the King George's Dock. Today, with its jetties, moorings and dock berths, Calcutta has the largest holding capacity amongst the major ports in India. It has accommodation for over 100 ships. In spite of its preeminent position, the port suffers from some natural constraints. It is situated 125 miles inland. A difficult, twisting stretch of the river, its sharp bends, bars and shallow crossings make it a perilous journey from the sea to the port. Therefore, piloting is a must in the River Hooghly. 300 years ago, John Company brought 5 pilots from England for safe navigation of company ships. In the open sea, the Bay of Bengal, one of the 2 pilot vessels of the port keeps on station duty, supplying pilots to ships entering the port and taking off pilots from ships leaving the port. Pilots are engaged in navigation, the river surveyors are busy charting the river bed. They map the riverbed to an amazing degree of accuracy and issue thousands of charts every year. Depths on important bars and crossing are broadcast and are also indicated on track boards for helping the pilot in his navigation. Due to heavy siltation of the river and existence of 14 bars, constant dredging of the channel is necessary. A relentless battle is being waged to keep the lifeline open for navigation. Over 10 million tons of spoils are lifted every year from the riverbed. Ships do not run on rails, but they must be kept to the channel, otherwise they will run aground. The pilots navigate ships, sometimes with a desperately small margin of safety over the riverbed. For the foreign captain, this hazardous journey may have been quite an experience. But for the pilot and the marine officers of the port, it is just another job safely carried out. Because of sharp bends and lack of depth, very big ships cannot come up to the port. In order to counter those problems, an ambitious project for a new dock system is now under construction at Haldia, about 60 miles downstream of Calcutta. The project provides for 6 berths and 1 oil jetty. The oil jetty is complete and already under commission. The Haldia dock will cater to longer and deep-drafted vessels. It will put Calcutta right into the orbit of giant tankers that are now being used in maritime trade. Estimated to cost over 50 crores of rupees in the first phase, Haldia is perhaps the biggest port project in the world today. The body of the commissioners for the port of Calcutta first met on the 17th of October 1870 for managing the affairs of the port. They had always looked ahead and provided matching facilities for the changing pattern of traffic. They complete a century of service to the country in October 1970. A large section of our people is dependent on the port of Calcutta for their living. Of them, over 40,000 are directly employed by the port. The commissioners provide housing facilities, free medical treatment to the employees and members of their families. Recently, a new hospital with the most modern equipment has been opened. This is a centenary gift of the commissioners to the employees of the port. The port teams in football, hockey, volleyball, basketball, badminton are names to reckon with. Institutes, schools, tiffin clubs receive grants from the commissioners. Besides, talents of the port employees in dramatic performance gets adequate encouragement. Though the commissioners extend their helping hand to trade, commerce and industry, and also their employees, the port of Calcutta remains under the shadow of a dying river. Devouring waves of bore tides come from the sea and throw the port operation out of gear. Frequency and intensity of bore tides are on the increase because the river Hooghly does not get any upland water for about 10 months in a year. As a result, these bore tides come up to the port unhindered, depositing sand on the riverbed. Dredging, however intensive, cannot save the river anymore. In order to remove the threat of extinction of the port of Calcutta, a giant barrage is being constructed at Farakka, across the river Ganga, for restoring the supply of upland water. This has been rightly named as the project for the preservation of the port. When the water starts flowing in once again from the river Ganga, it will be a second coming. After completion of the Farakka barrage project, depth in the river Hooghly will gradually improve. Ships will come laden with more cargo and also take greater amount of merchandise of our country on outward voyages. And the port of Calcutta will play a bigger role in the economic resurgence of the country. If, in course of time, a new legend grows on the second coming of the river Ganga, the port of Calcutta will always be a part of it.